Do you ever find yourself doubting the success of the mission you set on? Which means sometimes there's obstacles on the way and things are difficult, and something which you really, really believe in seems impossible and formidable to achieve. I think that one major case in point is that something's going on in the world right now, and it's pretty intense in the sense that it really awakens us Jews. Like, in case you're sleeping, you get aroused. Your neshama is aroused. Everyone is somehow aroused, and it has a lot to do with this, the very fact that we're trying to almost like explain, and like it seems ludicrous, like that we are even sitting over here like having to explain ourselves and that there's an issue, because it's logical that if someone kills you and barbarically murders you, that you go and attack them and kill them and stop it from ever happening again, and you do whatever you got to do. And somehow the world decided that we're doing the genocide, and we're like, hello, did you get the memo? And it's not like they care about genocide, do they? Because there's more genocides going on everywhere in the Arab world than you could imagine. But when we're doing it, ooh, that's the issue. And so it seems unfair. It seems like it's the Hebrew word is mekomim. It's enraging, exactly. Why are we sitting over here finding it out? And then we decide, you know what? We're gonna go and on social media, and we're gonna go, every time they have these votes, who do you vote for? Israel or Free Palestine? And we're trying to get enough votes. And you don't realize that even if all of us vote 100 times, like, we are outnumbered by thousands to one. There's no chance. There's nothing doing. So it's great that there's a rally today. It's very important to show our position and to be there. But we really have no chance. And it's very, very, very enraging and outrageous that we even have to answer up. It seems as unfair as you could ever get. It's really, really unfair. And we Jews are, well, we're sometimes a little bit shocked that this is what's going on. And then you wonder about the success of our mission. Is there a chance? Is there even hope? Like, can we even succeed? And you say to yourself, well, of course, not sure what this is about, but the Jewish people have always succeeded. Ultimately, we always win. So, yeah, there's challenges, but we always win. And so there's this moment of doubt. It's a momentary doubt, but right away you come right back and you realize, no, we're good. But you know what? It doesn't only happen with this global anti-Semitic issue going on. It happens with everything in life. It happens when you are looking to find a shidduch. You can't find it. And then there's a doubt that creeps in. You know what the doubt says? I think every older single at some point in their lives goes through the question, and they're like, the problem is that I'm ready, but who says the other side is? In other words, every time I need someone else to agree. And the other person has free choice, and who says they agree? They may not agree, and then I'll be stuck and single forever. And that doubt creeps in and says that even though Hashem wants me to get married, but who says it will ever happen? Maybe it will never come about. How about when you have a child and the child is not following the path you want them to? You're very worried and you're very concerned and scared. And you have that fear. And you come to realize that Sometimes you took things for granted. You assume you're going to raise kids, it's going to be that way. That's the way it is, and it's all going to be fine. And then it isn't. And you have this moment of doubt and fear and worry. And in that moment, you feel lost, because even though it's true that the Jewish people as a whole are going to make it through, who says my child's going to make it through? Who says my shidduch's going to make it through? Who says I'm going to survive? There's the doubt. All the time. How about someone who loses his job and he knows that Hashem promises you'll make a parnasa? Where does it say that? You bench every time you make Birkat Hamazon, grace after meals. You say Hazan et haolam kulo b'tovo b'chen b'chesed v'rachamim. Hashem gives food to everyone, and you realize it's pretty impressive how He sustains everyone somehow. But you're like, okay, but maybe not me. And there comes the doubt. And we need to hone in on that doubt and understand why we have that doubt, and learn how to not only not succumb to doubt, but actually grow from the doubt and become better and more powerful and more successful than ever before. People who have doubts and succumb to their doubts lose out. What we want to learn is to embrace the doubt, push forward nonetheless, and succeed, not in spite of the doubt, but because of the doubt. So that the doubt spurs you on to greater heights, to become a better person. It's not that you say, oh, I'm not a human being and I don't have these doubts. I do. I have my moments of weakness. But the moments of doubt and weakness elevate me, pick me up, take me to new places. Let's take a look at the Torah to learn for us in our lives. Because Torah means hora'ah. Torah means instruction. So everything you learn in Torah is an instruction as to how to live life. It's a matter of us grasping how Hashem trains us to feel. Now, sometimes the Torah relates to us instructions in story format. It's actually much more fun. Because when you get a story, it's easier to listen, it's more palatable. But it's not a story. It's not a story. It's an instruction for you and for me to learn how to live life. So the story goes like this. Avraham Avinu has been spreading Hashem's name across the world. He's built Judaism. In fact, Hashem even gave him a son. Not just a son, the son. Hashem gave him Yitzchak. So he wanted Yishmael actually to be the next one. And Hashem said, no. You need the miraculous one. And then he had this miracle that happened where he was ready to do everything Hashem wanted, even to the point of sacrificing his own son. And then ended up being a test. Now he has this wonderful, beautiful, incredible son. There's just one issue with sons. They don't reproduce. Sons need wives. Now the problem is, it was difficult enough to find a son. That was the biggest miracle ever. Now, you want me to produce another one? Someone once told me that getting a shidduch is pretty much the same as birth. Like you have to go through, 9 months of pregnancy, and then the baby comes out, and then you're petrified and worried because, what's it going to be? Is it going to be healthy? Am I getting the right baby? A shidduch is exactly the same thing. You have to go through all that horror and everything and pain and suffering and birth pangs, and then the baby comes out, and then the wedding happens, and then you're petrified, and then it takes a while before you begin to, okay, good, we're good. Baruch Hashem. Hashem helped us. Shidduch is tough. Shidduch of Yitzchak seems, in a sense, like an impossible task. Because how are you going to find a match for Yitzchak to carry on Judaism? The next Avram Avinu in female format, not raised by the home of Avram Avinu with all the miracles that happened over there. So it seems like an impossible task. Avram Avinu says, she exists, she has the genes. We have to find someone with the genes born into the system. And then he tells his servant Eliezer, you are going to be the first matchmaker. You are the first shadchan. Go out and find the shidduch. And then Eliezer right away says, what about my daughter I have a great daughter, and she was raised in your home, and she knows everything about your style. Who, more than her, would be befitting to be the wife of Yitzchak? She's a tzaddikus. And Avram tells him, she doesn't have the genes. Sorry. And to Eliezer's credit, he's like, I'm a servant of Avram. Whatever Avram wants, that's what is going to transpire. And so he puts aside his own desires, and he's going on a mission for Avram Avinu. And he sets out to Aram to find a wife. Now, Avram tells him, it's quite actually a fascinating episode. It's the episode of how to find a Shiva. So Avram tells him that swear, promise me that you will go and you'll find a woman over there. If she doesn't want, you'll be free of my oath. But he says to him, Hashem will make sure that she will agree. What he tells him is, Hashem ishlach mal'acho lefanecha. He will send an angel in front of you. The angel will clear the path every step of the way. And Eliezer listens, and he goes out on a journey. And he didn't realize it, but it was miraculous every step of the way. He sets out, and right away, he has a kfitza saderech, which means he leaves and arrives the same day on a journey that would have taken him weeks with the camels. And he's like, wow. He realizes he just left and then he just arrived. Same day. That's a miracle of Avram. Then he gets there, and now he's sitting over there and he's like, okay, I'm the shadchan. If you were the shadchan, how would you look for a shidduch? You're a matchmaker. What do matchmakers do? Right? They go into town and they say, I have a boy, and they know his qualities. They get a resume of the boy. They put it together, and they go around town and they ask, who knows who? You know what shadchanim don't do? Maybe they do, and they is go out and tell the boy, I have the best girl for you, just marry her. The one that I send you, you just marry her. A guy told me, he said, I was learning to him, he said, I was done with shidduchim. Been in shidduchim for a long time. He was already married 25 years. And he says, I said, you know what? The next one, I'm just doing it. And he did it. He didn't even think about it. He just walked in and said, I'm not even thinking about this. He told his wife afterwards, she's like, she wasn't exactly excited. But in a certain sense, Eliezer doesn't do the norm. He comes in, and instead of saying, Hashem, is the one who sent me, what does Eliezer say? He says, I'm going to stand over here, and Hashem is going to rain it down. It's just going to happen. Fascinating. So he stands by, he davens to Hashem. He says, Hashem, beautiful tefillah, short, sweet, and to the point. He says, Hashem, God of my master Avram, make it happen. Do kindness with my master. I'm going to stand by the well, because that's where people are. That makes sense. And I'm going to think about this way. The girl that I want, the quality that I want in her, is that she's a balas chesed. The Beis Halevi of Brisk adds another quality. She has to have brains. He says, what happened? Eliezer asked her for a drink. So she gave him a drink, but she only had a pitcher, a big, big pitcher. Which you go to the well down with, like a bucket. So she gave it to him, but she didn't have a cup. So she gave Eliezer the drink, so he drank from the bucket. Now, what do you do if someone drank from something and left water in the bucket? You want to drink it? No. You want to spill it? That's embarrassing. What did Rivka do? She offered it. She says, there's water left over. She offered it to the camels. He saw kindness and brains. She chapped how to not upset him, how to not make him feel disgraced and humiliated, and at the same time not to drink from his water. So she succeeded in both. So anyway, Rivka comes out, and Eliezer's like, can I get a drink? And she says, sure, for you, for your camels. And right away, he gives her the jewelry, and he says, this is you. Now, fast forward. Then he asks her, who are you? And she says, I'm the daughter of Besuel. And Avram's like Eliezer says, the divine providence over here is mind-boggling. Hashgacha pratis of the highest order. He davened, before he even finished davening, Rivka's already coming out. So he said, that's unbelievable. Now comes the issue. Now comes that moment of weakness of Eliezer. He's on a high. Can you imagine? He had a kvitzas derech, he came right away. He stood by the well, he asked Hashem, he davened to Hashem. Before he even finished davening, she was there. That is miracle of the highest order. It's like the story of the Baal Shem Tov and his student who were traveling once in the desert. And the student was desperate for water. So they were on a journey, and the student became, he couldn't live, he said. So Baal Shem Tov tells him, do you trust in Hashem? He's like, but there's no water here. How do I trust in Hashem? There's zero water. I'm going to die. He says, if you trust in Hashem in the desert, everything will be fine. Have absolute bitachon. And so he did. He put himself in a space, trusting in Hashem 100% that it's there. No sooner had he done that, a wagon passes by them, which was unusual. There weren't too many other wagons in the desert. They pass by, and there's a nobleman over there. They ask the nobleman, do you have any water? And the guy says, yes, I sure do. And he gives them, there's a lot of water, and he gives them 3 barrels of water. Enough water for everything. And they asked him, like, why are you carrying water with you in the desert? So much water. Where are you going? What are you doing? Like, you have extra water to give out? He says, yeah, I took a whole bunch of barrels for me and for others. And my master, the king, sent me out 3 days ago to go out. And I'm traveling for 3 days. And I don't know where I'm going, what I'm doing, but I know that, this is it. And the Baal Shem Tov tells the student, you see, you started getting thirsty a couple hours ago. He left already 3 days ago. What does that mean? That the world is ready for whatever you wish. Hashem anticipates already what you will want, what you will have bitachon for. Eliezer did just that. He was convinced, he's like davening to Hashem and convinced Hashem is going to help him. And as soon as he finished davening, Rivka was already there. That means she left before he started the tefillah. She was already on her way. In fact, what's interesting is that Eliezer, actually, the only reason Hashem wanted that she would arrive and he had to daven is so that he should realize it was her. Because if he wouldn't have davened and asked for a sign, then he wouldn't know. So she was already ready to come even before, without his tefillah. But then how would he know? So now he knew that it was her. Anyway, so Eliezer sees Hashem's hand everywhere. You ever had that in life? You see Hashgacha Pratit every step of the way. It's unbelievable. Like, imagine a boy and a girl are dating, and they've gone out already on a lot of dates. They're already ready. They've been out literally on, like 3 dates, and they're ready to get married. Okay, not 3, 30. And they're literally ready to get married. I was talking to a guy the other day. He was heartbroken because he had been dating this girl for 4 or 5 months. And they went through every issue. The whole thing was already ready. Like, everything was ready. They knew they were planning the wedding. They knew they were getting married. They were telling the family. Everything was perfect. And then they had a bit of an issue. And she just walked out on him. She said, forget it. And he's like heartbroken. He says, I was so convinced that it's working. And look, now just the rug was swept right under me, and that's it. I'm out. How would Eliezer know that despite everything that happened and how confident and 100% sure he was that it was working, maybe it wouldn't work? Right? You know why? Because there's one tiny little issue. When you have a shidduch for the boy, and you're convinced that this is the right girl, the problem is the girl has free choice. And she can decide no. And that's the way it is. The way Hashem designed us is that we all have free choice. And hakol bidei shamayim chutz mi yirat shamayim, actually. Everything is in the hands of heaven except for the fear of heaven, which means God gives you free choice. He does not dictate to you. So even if Hashem says it's going to work, it may not work. So Eliezer is sitting over there in front of Betuel and Lavan, the father and the brother, and he's telling them over what happened. He says, it was incredible. I came and then I stand by the water and everything was perfect. And then the doubt crept into him. And he started to worry. Maybe it's not going to happen. Maybe this isn't it. What does he do? He actually changed the story. If you look carefully, he changed a few key details in the story. So some of them we know he didn't say, I saw there and I came over to her and I put the jewelry on her and then I asked her who she was. He said, first I asked her who she was, then I got the jewelry. Okay, that makes sense because he doesn't want them to think, like, how did you know? What he did was, he said, my master Avram told me the angel would walk in front of me. Hu yishlach malacho lefanecha. Pay careful attention to how Eliezer repeats the story. He does not use the word lefanecha. He says, Hu yishlach malacho itach. What's the difference between sending him itcha versus lefanecha? Lefanecha means you're behind, the angel's in front. Itcha means with you, meaning you're side by side. Why did he say side by side? You know why? Because he was concerned. If he tells them, Besul Lavan, I have this angel walking in front of me, it's unbelievable. Kfitas Haderech, I just get there quick. I arrive, I dive into Hashem, everything works, psh, psh, all done, perfect. What would they say? So why are you sitting with us over here? If Hashem is doing it, you don't need me. Let God run the show and done. And if Besul and Lavan get ticked off, and they have free choice, who knows what's the result going to be? And so Eliezer says, everything is perfect. The Hashgacha Prat is the divine providence of the highest order, but the other side has free choice and may say no. And so he has this moment of doubt and he flips it over and he says, well, he didn't say he'll send the Malach in front of me. He said with me. In other words, you guys still have free choice. It's not like there's an angel paving the path in front of me and therefore it doesn't make a difference what you guys say. And no, you do have free choice. But you know what he really believed? That they don't. What he really believed was that Hashem is going to make this happen regardless. I don't actually need you guys. It doesn't make a difference what you think. But there's the doubt. The doubt forces him to change. Now, it's not a lie, because Avram said the angel would go in front of you. But then in front of you means also next to you, right? It's part of, if you have 200, 100 is part of 200. It's like Avram said, he'll be right in front of you. It's next to you, side by you. What Eliezer does at this moment is very, very powerful and telling, and a lesson to all of us. When we fall into a doubt about life, when we're not sure about the mission that we're on, and when we're not convinced and we're worried that there's a reason why this time is going to be different, it may not succeed. What do you do? When in doubt, when you're scared, don't run away from the doubt. Eliezer succeeded for two reasons. There are two qualities that Eliezer has that all of us need to have. And he tells it directly to Lavan and Besul. When he arrived there, what did he say? Vayomar, Eved Avraham Anochi. I'm not my own man. All I am is a conduit. Avram wants a shidduch. I don't know why he sent me. My job is to find the shidduch. I'm not coming back without the shidduch. But it's not about me at all. It's all about my master and his desire and his mission. He submits himself to the message of Avram Avinu. In other words, if you decide that I need a shidduch because I need a shidduch, then you can get stuck. Yes. Why? Because you're on your own. I'm lonely and I need a shidduch. Okay. But who says she's lonely? Maybe she doesn't care in it right now. If I'm doing it for me, I could get stuck on the way. You want to succeed? Let go. Stop thinking about what I need to do and start thinking about what Hashem wants done. Do you see the difference? It's not that I want a shidduch, it's that Hashem wants me to be married. How do I know that? Look in the Torah and you'll see. So Hashem wants this to happen. It's not me. If I accept that it's the mission, it's Hashem and it's not me, I'm just a conduit. Essentially, it means I don't need to do anything other than a little bit of ishtadlus. What does Hashem want from me? Well, if I want to find a shidduch, what does Hashem want? He wants me to make a decision that I need a shidduch, and He wants me to make the call to the matchmaker. Call up the shadchan and say, I need a shidduch. Now what? One step at a time. You don't need to know more than one step at a time. All you need to do is deflect the pressure. No stress, no pressure. I don't need to succeed. I just need to do the next step. Avram Avinu has a promise from Hashem. Let him figure it out. He sent me on a mission. Stay out of the way. Do you see how that's Eliezer's job? And it's contradictory because it's living in a real paradox. Because you have to stay out of the way, but you have to get in the way. Because if Eliezer stays out of the way, he wouldn't go. So he has to go, and he has to use his brain all the time, but he's using his brain to one end. Eved Avraham Anochi. Avram wants a shidduch. What can I do to help? He's like, well, I'm going to stand by the well. What are the chances of that working? I don't know, but that's what entered my head right now, so that's the next step. That's it. One step ahead. Nothing more. But that's not good enough. Because, so you need money, you need to make a parnasa. And Hashem promised you'll make a parnasa. He also tells you that if you stay home and do nothing, you won't make the parnasa. Because He wants you to go out and work. But don't worry. Because if you start worrying, it doesn't make sense. There's no logical way for you to make money. If human beings were to think how they make money, you know what you'd come up with? That it's not going to work. It's not possible. Okay, so I didn't ask you to think. What I asked you was to make a decision. This is happening. Avram's getting his shidduch. Hashem says everyone's going to get a parnasa, therefore I'm going to make the money. How much money? I don't know. However much money you need, that's how much you're going to make. What do you have to do? One step ahead. If you move into the next step, the chances are you're going to feel a lot of stress, pressure, anxiety. You ever had that? When you're making, you're trying to find the shidduch and they're getting old. So you're already stressed out. It's not happening. It can't happen. It's not happening. Look, it's shidduch crisis. It's not coming about. And you start worrying. Do you believe in Hashem? Of course I believe in Hashem. Do you have bitachon, trust? Absolutely. Yes. It's just about bringing Hashem down. I'm having a little bit of a challenge in internalizing that which I know to be true. Externally, I am a conduit, a servant of Hashem. But inside, I'm struggling. Because I don't really believe it, and I'm in doubt. That's the issue. So Eliezer says, of course Abraham's going to get it, because Hashem promised him. Of course, I believe it. But if Eliezer is to be a conduit, he needs to do one more step. He can't just say that I'm a servant of Abraham, therefore I'm going to go, even though I'm feeling anxious, I'm going to move ahead. You have to do one more thing. Internalize what you feel externally. And that's called tefillah. And so Eliezer davens. What's tefillah? Tefillah is to take that which you have in a makif, in an encompassing way, in an external way, and to feel it every step of the way. That's how we daven. What do we do when we daven? For example, we say, Refa'enu Hashem b'nei Rafi. Hashem, this person needs a cure. Please, Hashem, help them. They need a cure. And you daven, Melech Refei Ne'eman V'rachmanato, you're merciful. You can give it, Hashem. We end off every single bracha in Shemona Esrei, every single request. We end it off and say, Baruch, I draw down. And Hashem cures people. I don't know how to see it. I don't know what it is. It's going to happen. It is happening. Consider it done. You ask Hashem for parnasa. Barei Cholein is asking for parnasa. I need money, Hashem. So you're asking and asking. You must make a request of Hashem from a position of not having to having. And you end off the bracha and you say, I'm confident that Hashem is giving it to me. And then you take in Shema Koleinu all the things you want which weren't written necessarily spelled out in your tefillah, and you say them out. And you're like, you mean if I don't say it, Hashem doesn't know? Hashem wants you to say it out. He wants you to ask Him for every little thing. And when you ask Him, you say, Abba, I need so-and-so. And then you walk out of the tefillah with a baruch. You make a bracha. What's a bracha? Can't make a bracha. If you have an apple, you can make a bracha. But if you don't have an apple, you make a baruch. That's a bracha levatala. It's a bracha for no reason. So if you don't know 100% confident that something is about to happen, you can't make a bracha on it. But davening is about introducing the confidence into our lives that what we know to be true is true. In other words, you're worried about finding a shidduch? Go into a space which says Hashem finds a shidduch for everybody. And then your mind's going to tell you all the reasons why it's not going to happen. And ask Hashem for help. And then start feeling how you're going to feel when you get the shidduch. And when you find the money. And when your child, comes back. And start living that now. And start finding it to be true now. Like when your child does something good. And your child gives you nachas, albeit minuscule nachas. You look at that and you say, wow, I see it. I see the nachas. Or when your son gets a date. Exciting. Wow. And get excited about that. Not that he found the shidduch already. Excited that it's working. I see it happening. Doesn't work the date? Okay. What is good? All the time, focus on the same feeling you want to have when it works. Get that feeling now. Because if you can internalize that feeling now and feel it in this moment, it'll gradually grow. Look what Eliezer does. He has a doubt. He's not sure. Like, I don't know. Maybe the shidduch's not happening. True, I saw every indication that it will happen, but the Su'al, Lavan, and Rivka, of course, have free choice. Now he looks at himself and he says, I have a doubt. You know what he realizes? What's the purpose of a doubt? He already davened. He did two things. He tells them, I am a servant of Avram, and I davened. I internalize that Hashem is with me every step of the way. Next step is I got a doubt. So, that's guiding me as to what to do next. The mind says, Eliezer, the Su'al and Lavan, they may say no. So he's like, got it. So I'm going to work as if they may say no. And so his mind guides him to realize that the doubt is not a doubt as to whether it's going to happen or not. It's still going to happen. But if you have a doubt, what does that mean? It means overcome the doubt. So they might say no. Okay, so don't tell them that Avram said that Hashem will send the malach ahead of me. He flips it. He says, "Uyishlach malacho itach." Why? To give them the feeling that they're in control. You see what he did? He flipped the doubt over. He saw himself in doubt. Like, whoops, I got a doubt. So he says, no. Hashem is for sure making it happen. Now he looks at the doubt. Instead of the doubt being a doubt of whether it's going to happen or not, the doubt is a guidepost. It's leading me to say, oh, if you're in doubt, so just that's how you should do it. In other words, when you have a doubt, you see your child, and the child just not behaving the way you want them to do, that's not a doubt whether they're going to be religious or not. That means you need to treat them with more sensitivity. Just be sensitive to their needs. And go down into their world. Maybe you need to go out with them. Maybe you need to understand them more, to appreciate them more. Hashem wants ishtadlus. It means I'm not going to flinch. I am just a conduit of Hashem's message to come down. And I'm davening, so I feel already this kid is the biggest nachas in the world. Now what do I need to do? I'm in doubt. Don't allow the doubt to make you feel like it's not happening. It is happening. Just that the doubt is to guide you to realize that, oh, you got to do some work here. So if you can't find a shidduch, and it didn't work with this girl, and you're like feeling a doubt, the doubt is meant for you to think, maybe we need another type of girl. Maybe another type of shidduch. Look for a different option. But never lose that emunah. Never lose that bitachon. And then you say, but what do you mean? The other side has free choice. And Hashem tells you, absolutely they do. The other side has total free choice. And even so, secret, I'm Hashem. I'm going to make it happen anyway. And you're like, 1 second, that scratch my head doesn't make sense. Because you're telling me that the other person has free choice. In other words, my child can say no, the shidduch can say no, and the money may not work because I got to get someone else. Yes, and yes. But whereas the children learn that I call bidei shamayim chutz mirat shamayim, and in other words, that people have free choice, Eliezer brought a brand new thought into the world, a brand new idea into the world. If a person goes with the approach, Eved Avraham Anochi, it's not about me, then you will succeed even in impossibilities, even in convincing the other side. It's a system of how we can live life. The Torah is guiding us how to live life. If you have problems in life, who doesn't have problems? The question is what the problems are, how bad, how difficult. Yes, but everyone's got their issues. If you find yourself with problems in life, stop taking it personally. Train yourself like Eliezer to say, it's not me. Hashem wants something done. And he gave it to be done through me. So if I need to find a shidduch for myself, for my child, okay, Hashem wants this done. I'm going to do it. Viktor Frankl, right? Did logotherapy. That's the basic idea. Stop looking at yourself and putting all the pressure on you. It's like, no, this needs to be done. Okay, through me. I'm not the one who's doing it. I don't need to worry about it. It's just coming about through me, without me stressing over it. Step 1, Eved Avraham Anochi. Hashem wants something done, it will be done. Step 2, because you can't just say that. It's so easy to say, yeah, Ashgach Pratis, Hashem runs the world, Hashem does it for sure. It's very easy. We all say that, and it's great. Keep saying it. But it's not good enough. Eliezer needed to do part 2, the tefillah. How do you daven? You ask Hashem for something. And like any 2-year-old, when you ask, you know that mommy's going to give it. And somehow it's going to come. I don't know how, but there's a confidence I'm getting it. Yeah, you want the candy now, maybe you won't get it now. Maybe you have to go to sleep now. Maybe you'll get it tomorrow. But if you just sit there with a cute look on your face, mommy will succumb. That's what we Jews got to do. It's to sit in front of Hashem when in doubt and say, Hashem, how's this work? Oh, it works. Like, you're worried about anti-Semitism, you're worried about all of them attacking us. You want to know the truth? It makes no sense that we survive. It doesn't make sense. There is no logic in this at all. Got any doubts about survival of the Jewish people? No. Take those doubts and internalize them about an individual Jew, about you as the individual, and about your family, and about the people around you. And you look and you say, you know what? Hashem, I'm in your hands. It's so good to be in your hands. It's so wonderful. And I don't need to do anything. And it makes no sense. You know, by the way, when you adopt this approach, I always watch, fascinating how you see these clips of Jews arguing with Arabs or whatever, or anyone eventually. They're all on the same team. And they're trying to make a point. And the poor Jew gets very intense. I mean, just what gets forwarded by WhatsApp at least. The Jews get very intense. They're like, you're lying. Like, what are you saying? The Arab sits over there and like, you guys are doing genocide to the Gazan people. And the Jews, like, at this point, Jews seem to get it. Most Jews got it. They're like, what? And he starts down and says, but they killed us and you killed us and whatever. What do you want us to do with the babies and with the whatever and all that? And you slit, whatever, chas v'shalom and this and that. We're not having this happen again. And would you allow it to happen? And the Arabs just sit there and they like keep on saying the same point again. And we get incensed, like enraged. How dare they? You know whose fault it is? Us. It's our fault. Because you're trying to get some compassion from a goy. Why? You want him to feel bad for you? Stop asking him to feel bad for you. What does Hashem say to do? If you are a servant of Hashem, you ask Hashem, what's the answer? And the answer is right in the first Rashi in the Torah. David HaMelech said in Tehillim, Koach ma'asa v'gid le'amo, latet le'em nachalat goyim. What does that mean? Hashem spoke about the greatness of his deeds. In other words, he told us the whole Chumash Bereshit that I created the world and everything I did. Why? So that you should get the inheritance of the goyim. What does that mean? And when a goy says to you, you stole the land, the Gazan Strip, how dare you do it? What are you doing? What do we say? This is the land of Israel. It's our land. Got it? It's our land. I don't need your sympathy. I don't need you to cry for me. There's nothing there. It's our land. And you say, but the goy is going to say, I don't care what it says in the Torah. Since when was it your job to decide what the best approach should be? Ask Hashem what the best approach is. You see what Eliezer does? He says, what does Hashem say? What does Abram say? What does Torah say? Torah says to say this approach. It's not like we used to think, right, land for peace. Makes sense. Maybe I should give away land. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should not. The Torah says, the halacha in chapter 329 in Shulchan Aruch says that if you give away land to a non-Jew on the border, it's going to be easier for him to attack you, and you never give away the land. Shulchan Aruch, Hilchos Shabbos, very clear. And we are like, yeah, but who knows? Maybe land for peace, maybe this, maybe that. Stop thinking so much about your own thing and worrying about the politics. But what are the nations, 140 or whatever they are, United Nations enemies, Yimach Shmom, against us? Yes, so you actually don't stand a chance. So long as you're trying to get it on your own accord, you've got problems. You got doubts about it? Stop with the doubts. When you're standing in this most doubtful moment and you say, I am lost. Next step is, Eved Avraham Anochi. I'm a servant of Avraham. And when you still don't feel it, and you feel the scary doubt, and you're worried and you're stressed out, now you dive into Hashem. You say, Hashem, I know it comes from you. And I'm going to internalize that you're going to give me shidduch that I need. You're going to give me the security that Am Yisrael needs and the victory. You're going to give me the money I need to live. You're going to give me the shalom bayis that I need, all the things I need. How? By me, every time I stress and worry about it. You can feel your stress, it's okay. In fact, it's good, because if you feel your stress, you'll know what the miracle is. So Eliezer sits there, oh my gosh, I got a doubt. What's I feel doubt? Oh, doubt. That is just a guide as to how I can operate next. And now you know what the next step is. The next step is whatever seems like the right thing to do. And then you let go. You walk in, you do it, and you stop thinking, oh, did it work, did it not? It doesn't make a difference. Your job is not to feel the next step. Your job is to allow Hashem to make it work, if you allow Hashem to make it work, you suddenly discover absolute miracles. It's like wondrous how all of us can have the same power as Eliezer.